Hi, I'm Samantha Christofferson, co-founder of KW Professional Organizers. Today I want to share with you the frustration I had when I was first getting started with bullet journals. I didn't really think about how many pages I would need. So if I wanted to be able to have a book that had the full calendar, so I was designing my book for the year, well, how many pages was that going to be? I didn't even think about it when I got started. I just got started because I was so excited to try something, and I know I'm not the only person who feels this way. So this was the first bullet journal that I designed. Obviously, it's quite a bit smaller than the one that I have now. Okay, the reason being is that I just loved it. It's small, it's handheld, but in the end, it didn't really give me enough space to be able to write, and it didn't even have enough pages. I got all the way up to building June out, and then I realized, hey, I'm not going to be able to fit the entire year in my book, and I'm already cramping in a bunch of 5 per page data entries. So I'm not going to really have space to grow with this journal. I was really limiting myself. But then I thought, okay, well, I know the basic setup, but how many pages is that? And the truth is, I've attached with your template the number breakdown that the entire setup for doing the bullet journal system is 35 pages just on its own. And then depending on how you want to put in your daily log, which is keeping track of your daily schedule, any events, or maybe you want to journal specific things into that day, that's going to change how many numbers you need. So just quickly, if you wanted to have 1 day per page, you're going to need to have 365 days, but you also have 2 pages that indicate the beginning of the month. So that's included in the setup already. So we're just talking about daily entries. So follow along on that template. I decided that I wanted to have 3 days per page because essentially my book's a little bit bigger. I had enough room for it. So just basically you're looking at kind of a 3 day per page entry. So with that, I needed to have an extra 132 pages to be able to fit in all my months and to put 3 days per page. So I'm already up to a total of 167 pages that I need in my book. Luckily, this book has 192 pages, and that means after my calendar and the page setup for bullet journal, I have 25 extra pages. I'm going to use those pages to keep track of lists and to have different trackers. But most importantly, it's the things that I know that I want to keep track of. I know I want to keep track of the books that I want to read. When someone recommends something to me, I want to have a spot in the journal to write it down. I also want to have a spot to potentially write out blog ideas. I have to write a bi-weekly blog. So as inspiration strikes me or ideas kind of catch my eye, I want to be able to have a spot in my journal where I'm going to write them down. The other thing I want to tell you about your journal is that the page and the paper inside is very important. So in mine, I've noticed that it's a little bit thin, and I can see very easily sometimes if I take the time to do a marker on the opposite page, it kind of bleeds through. So you want to be cognizant of how much are you going to be drawing in your journal. You might need a thicker paper. There's also different types of paper, dots, grids, just blank paper with nothing on it. Also, maybe you want to find a journal that has page numbers printed on every page already. That's going to save you having to manually put them in. So knowing these kinds of things before you're getting started and knowing how many pages you need before you actually purchase a journal or make a journal yourself, that's really important. And I hope this saves you a little bit of frustration and a little bit less money spent on journals that didn't work out.